Hello, I'm Calvin Morris, and I'm here today to review episode 2 of the new series of Doctor Who. The good, the bad. Let's get right into it. Let's review Doctor Who. So yes, I'm here to review Doctor Who for this week. Second episode into the new season. Before I get to that, I want to just talk quickly about things that have been going on this week. So it turns out that Doctor Who apparently dropped 2.2 million viewers domestically last week. Okay. Yes, last season wasn't, at least for me and for several people I know, last season was not a great season for Doctor Who. It, in fact, it sucked. Okay, the story writing for last season absolutely sucked. So if there's a lot more people out there like me who felt that the show wasn't worth it, they probably didn't come back. That being said, I can well believe that the reason why it dropped 2.2 million viewers is because of the time slot. Now, if there are BBC executives out there going, oh no, this show isn't drawing the audience that it used to draw, maybe that's because you're putting it on at 7:45 in the night up against a show like X Factor. Okay? That's not going to help. This week, Doctor Who was on at 7:45. What was he going up against? Let's see. Probably the biggest match of the World Rugby Cup so far. England v Wales. You're not going to get a big audience this week. Trust me. The viewing figures are going to come out tomorrow and they're going to be shambolic. Okay? So yeah, viewing figures, probably if you're going to want to put Doctor Who on and get some winning viewing figures, you might want to think about putting it on at say 6 PM. Okay? 6 PM, 7 PM latest. Next week, Doctor Who is on at 8:25. Oh dear God! Do you want to just put a gun to his head and pull the trigger right now? Not good. Not good. But and the other thing as well, you know, if these execs are so concerned with the ratings for Doctor Who, they might want to think about making the show a bit more consistent. Okay? Because not only is Doctor Who on at different times on a Saturday night now, but it's also on at a different time of year. You know, Doctor Who started this year over a month later than what it did last year. So it's not even on in the same slot. You know, it's not even falling into the same fall of season. So they need to sort that out. The other bit of news that dropped this week is that it's been reported that bookies have put fair odds on the new companion being Michelle Keegan. Now, let's just take a moment and stop thinking without dicks, okay? I like Michelle Keegan. Stick her in a bikini, fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Is she going to be a good companion for the Doctor? Gun this side, gun this side. Look, I'm sure she'll be decent. I'm sure she will be decent. But I have to believe that if Michelle Keegan is signing up to play a Doctor Who companion, she's probably signing up to improve her international career. Because, you know, once you're on Doctor Who, you're going to be seen all over the world. That's just the way it is. You know, the show is shipped out to all over the world. I can believe it's a career move as opposed to a job move. I really don't think she's short of a few bob, so I can't really see it being a financial issue. Again, it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying, you know, doing it to improve your career is a bad thing. You know, hell, it worked for Christopher Eccleston. But given the other names that have been mentioned as potential companions, one of them, Rose Leslie. Oh my God, if Rose Leslie became a companion, so on board. I am so on board for that. That girl has got acting chops and can knock it out of the park, no problem at all. So, yeah. So that's a bit of news that's been dropping this week. So yeah, give me Rose Leslie over Michelle Keegan anytime. Just do it. Anyway, let's get into talking about tonight's episode, and it's the second part. We had the Magician's Apprentice last week, and it's now the Witch's Familiar this week. What do I say? Okay, last week I questioned whether or not it was possible for Doctor Who to be able to wrap up a story. They've managed to do it in a two-parter this week, so they had plenty of time to wrap the story. I didn't mind it. I'm going to be honest, I didn't mind it. There was niggly things here or there that come down to a little bit of lazy writing here or there, but overall, gotta tell you, I had a bit of fun. I did have a bit of fun, and that's what it's about, entertaining people and having fun. And yeah, not bad. I'm going to try to keep this review as spoiler free as I can, but there are moments in this episode whereby the Doctor is facing off against Davros. These two, since the 70s, these two have had face-on time and face-off time, and it's been fun. Now, the story centres around the fact that Davros is dying, and you knew it was a ploy, okay? There's not one person watching this that doesn't believe that if Davros says he's dying, he's lying. He was. I'm not going to get too much into that. Let's leave that in a hazy ground for you if you haven't seen the episode. But you just know, Doctor Who's never going to kill off Davros, and even if they do, they'll find some way to bring him back in another show. So nice moments, sort of touching. Like I said, there's a little bit of going on, but enjoyed that. What about Clara and Missy? Well, you knew Clara wasn't dead, you knew Missy wasn't dead. That wasn't a cliffhanger, you know what I mean? It's not really a spoiler, because if you've seen the trailers, you know she's there in the sort of upcoming episodes throughout the season. But the interaction between Clara and Missy, Michelle Gomez, again, just laying it on with mustard. I mean, she's just knocking it out of the park. Good interactions. It's good to see. It would be interesting to see the Master's companion. That would be a really interesting thing. What if the Doctor's got a companion? Why can't the Master? And what if the Master had took on a companion that was a particularly unpleasant person? That would be quite nice. That would be a good sort of head to head, and seeing Clara with Missy really sort of made me think, yeah, this could work. Good interactions. Good to see how Missy regards the Doctor. She describes him as a swat. I mean, that's brilliant. Some nice stuff going on there. Okay, let's get into a little bit of the bad. The bad would be small things, really small things actually, in that when the Doctor confronts the Daleks, he's got a cup of tea, and he asks the Daleks, one of the questions should be, where did I get the cup of tea from? Well, it's me, I'm the Doctor, why bother asking? Funny, but I didn't like it. Because if you go down that line, if you go down that road, you open up a whole can of worms, okay? You can't just have him say and do something and just explain it away with, I'm the Doctor, don't worry about it. Don't think about it like that. Because at the end of the day, what you'll end up with is a piece of writing whereby you'll go, how did he escape? Well, he pulled a magic carrot from a wall. How did he do that? Because he's the Doctor, don't overthink it. Yeah, there's dangerous thinking going on there. So, I like the fact that he didn't use a sonic screwdriver. I like the fact he didn't have the TARDIS. That's always the most interesting times, is when the Doctor is on his own by himself and he has nothing but his wits to survive. Didn't mind the outcome. Didn't mind the end. The end scene I thought was a really nice scene. a little bit touching, you know, but also a little bit like, you know, you should really think about killing that bastard. But yeah, I thought it was I thought it, for two-parter, I thought it wrapped up well, and it took enough time to wrap up without taking any of the excitement away. So other bad things, the sunglasses. Not because of the sunglasses. If you've watched the episode, you'll probably understand why. But yeah, not sold. Really not sold. Different. I'll give it credit. Maybe it'll take time, but right now I'm not sold. So yeah. Is there anything else? Obviously, Missy. Yeah, Missy. Sometimes they never explain how the Master gets away, or how the Master survives. I don't think they have to this time. There's this one line by Michelle Gomez in the episode, and it's like, I got a feeling she's gonna show up in another episode, and I got a feeling she might have friends. Not gonna get too much into that, but yeah, that to me was a good wrap up for the episode. The plot overall, I thought, done a good job. I thought it done a really good job of kicking off the first, you know, the first 2 episodes of the season. If this is the way the season's gonna go, we're in for a good ride. As long as they don't, you know, get lazy, and as long as they don't get silly like they did last season, I'm fine. Keep it this way. Hell, go darker. Go. Take it deeper, make it a little bit more terrifying, go down the horror route. I'll be perfectly happy with that. Totally. Anyway, what did you think of this week's episode of Doctor Who? Did you like the way that it concluded? Did you like how they managed to explain how things panned out? Again, trying not to give stuff away, it's difficult. Did you like the conclusion? Anyway, I enjoyed it. I thought it was decent. Not great, but decent, and I thought it was a hell of an improvement on last season. And yeah, I'm gonna go now and sit down and watch the rugby. Anyway, that's my review of Doctor Who.